You find yourself lost in Irvingland. Last time, the crew were preparing the Jupiter 2 to blast off and finish their trip to Alpha Centauri. Dr. Smith is thrilled as usual. To try and help cheer him up, Will has him collecting rock samples to test while they're on the trip.
My sensors indicate that if we expose this outcrop, we may uncover a fossil-bearing stratum of great geological interest.
Let me assure you at once that it cannot be of possible interest to me.
Also, I must warn you that you are in a gaseous area.
That's Dr. Smith. He forgot to shower this morning.
Yeah.
I stand chastised. And who are you?
Do you not remember, Dr. Smith?
No, I do not. And stop calling me Dr. Smith, if you please. My name is... name is... Oh, good heavens. What is my name?
Oh, this opportunity is too good to waste. Your name is John Doe, and you're the planet's most honest, law-abiding, upstanding citizen. Go in peace, Mr. Doe. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to change someone's basic nature, so What's-His-Face insults the robot and drives him away. The robot will go find Will and try to bring him back here, but Dr. Smith won't be here when they get back.
Beep, 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 beep. I hear, and I will obey.
I'm convinced a 3-year-old with a kazoo could control Dr. Smith's mind. I have a feeling every stage hypnotist in the world would love to have him as a subject. He's heading for a cave that looks like it has a bunch of ancient Egyptian artifacts in it, including Imhotep. He tried to suck out Dr. Smith's soul so he could restore himself. Unfortunately, he came up empty. Is that mummy incapable of making a right turn while walking backwards? Seems like a design flaw. Why is he walking like this? Will and the robot are following his tracks. 2 guys wrapped in wet cardboard! Rock monsters! They're guardians and won't let him pass. The robot distracts him while Will ducks under, then plows his own way past them. Since they're chained to the rocks, they won't follow.
What are we gonna do, robot?
I am not sure. The alien force derives from that computer and/or stimulator. It is my belief that it needs Dr. Smith.
Oh my word, it's the top hat. Now I know why he's walking like that.
Don't be afraid if it jiggles like jelly. Yes, Mr. Hogan.
Dr. Smith's amnesia has made him susceptible to the alien force that's controlling him. It had to be the amnesia. It couldn't possibly be that he's a nitwit. The robot has the answer.
Touché.
How dare you strike me, you blithering blatherskite?
He didn't mean to harm you, Dr. Smith. Are you all right?
Certainly not. I shall never be the same. William? William? What on earth are we doing here?
We were fetching you back to the Jupiter 2. We have no idea what you were doing.
That dreadful Jupiter 2, with its devil-may-care crew and its destination of doom. If only I had a ship of my own to take me where I want to go.
As usual, Dr. Smith insists on leading, and as usual, his impeccable sense of direction gets them lost.
What's the hydroponic garden doing out here? We never grew anything like this. It's got no taste.
Really? I think it's delicious. Your palate has been spoiled by too many sweets, William. I've told you many times.
There's lots more weirdness. The ship is deserted, an awful lot of things are purple that weren't before. The interior is full of cobwebs, and there's no lower deck. The robot reports that it's a simulated vehicle that will never fly. He suspects the same alien force that was messing with Dr. Smith's mind built it. Spoiler, that thing Dr. Smith was standing in front of in the cave was a sentient computer. More on that as it comes along. When Smith wished he had a ship of his own, it conjured up this. The only reason I'm explaining it now is because the episode never will. They'll leave this thing, let the robot lead this time so they actually get home, and it's never mentioned again. I'm not sure any of those three ever made that connection. The ship takes off at 8 in the morning. Everybody is to be secure by 6, so if you need to use the bathroom, you'll want to do it before then. Smith is doing a bit more than using the bathroom.
Now, what is this?
It is an alien symbol of royalty.
Royalty. How nice. And it is fitting and proper that I should wear it.
Why?
And what is this?
It is an alien skull cap, Dr. Smith.
Lovely color. And just my size. Well, it must belong to someone.
As of now, I think it belongs to you. He's throwing a typical Dr. Smith fit with all the shrieking and everything else. Honestly, we've already seen it 6 times just this episode. It's getting a little overdone. Maybe take it out of the oven for a while and focus on something else.
I bid you welcome, Dr. Smith. It pleases me to see you wear the amulet and the crown of the Dranconians. There is hope for us now. All our faculties are now at your disposal. Choose a wand.
Then get back to Hogwarts. It's almost curfew. The machines start going on and on about how he's going to restore the Draconian civilization to its former glory and a bunch of stuff like that. He isn't following any of it, but he did follow this.
You have made us very happy. It is fitting that you should be rewarded.
That's the magic word for Zachary Smith. Knowing him, he won't even bother to ask what it is, even though for all he knows it's some food that the aliens consider a delicacy, like chilled snail dung.
No, thank you very much. But I really must be going. Diamond?
If they eat those, he might want to get out of there quick. No, they know exactly what part of his greed to play on.
Gonna jump down, poke down with a golden nugget. Gonna jump down, turn around, picking gold all day.
Robot, what's going on? What's happened to you? How'd you get to be gold?
Watch it, Will Robinson. I do not like grubby finger stains on my new suit of gold.
Looks like Dr. Smith gave him a new suit and the alien machine gave him a new level of attitude. Will says now it's obvious Dr. Smith is in trouble. Let's go get him.
One moment, please.
What is it?
From now on, I would appreciate it if you would call me Golden Boy.
Not all of you is Golden Boy. Several parts of you are the same old, same old. Don't get cocky. Whatever that machine is doing to him, now he looks like a Vulcan who caught the Vidian phage.
At long last, I'm in my natural habitat, surrounded by the things I need and love and deserve.
Dr. Smith?
Welcome to my home away from home, little one. Give the child an apricot.
This tray is only silver, but I am gold.
Yeah, you've told me that before. And Dr. Smith is clay by the looks of him.
The food has no flavor, but Smith thinks it's great. It doesn't occur to him that his taste buds have changed as much as his appearance. Now window putty tastes like a gourmet meal. But Will has more important things on his mind.
How would you like to be my equerry, boy?
I don't even know what an equerry is. And what's more, I don't know why you're acting so uppity unless you've lost your memory again.
The memory banks of 1,000 generations are within my grasp.
Well, there's one memory of your own that ought to be enough to tell you that we're due for a liftoff pretty soon, and we've got to get back.
I am perfectly happy where I am.
Well, there you go. He's well cared for, protected, and has all the supplies he needs. Bye, Doctor.
Don't you care what happens to Dr. Smith?
As a matter of fact, Will, no.
You can't blame Don. Smith has been the cause of everything from the original disaster down to the present day. I had to agree with Maureen that he's a human being and they couldn't leave him out in space when they were near Earth. But this isn't leaving him out in space. He's on a planet, he's got support, in fact he's got a whole civilization inside his head. He has food, clothing, shelter, and company. Frankly, he's in a lot more secure position than the Robinsons are. Even so, let's go get him.
I wish to communicate with Dr. Smith, if you and he are the same.
I am many persons. Within my brain resides the sum of all the wisdom of my ancestors. This Dr. Smith whom you mention
is not one of them.
Well, that's that. Let's go blast off for Alpha Centauri.
You have performed nobly. You have overcome your weakness for personal relationships.
Somebody needs to explain to the poor man's Shazam elder that he didn't have any real personal relationships with these two, so that wasn't exactly a great feat of willpower. Will is devastated, but there's nothing to be done. Time to strap in for blastoff.
Come on, Will.
I'll be down in a minute.
All right, well, don't be too long.
Oh, for crying out loud, Maureen, you're not gonna fall for that, are you? Yes, she is.
Dr. Smith, I know you're not acting like yourself. That's why you don't understand me. But we may never get a chance to see each other again. And people usually say goodbye to each other when they've been good friends and have had good times together, like I've had with you and the robot.
I know nothing of these good times, as you call them.
Just don't start thinking about all the bad times, like when he sold you out to become an alien computer, or all the times he's hidden behind you when there was danger. Yeah, definitely don't remind him of those. After Will recounts some of the time they've spent together, he says his goodbyes and leaves.
Oh, great Anyak!
Not now.
Not now, great Anyak?
That is what I said.
The machine can't believe that Will's emotional goodbye is affecting the great Anyak. But see, here's the thing that machine may not be programmed to grasp. If he's the great Anyak and he's the omnipotent one, he makes the rules. So he can be moved by sentiment if he wants to because he's the omnipotent one and the machine isn't, so the machine can't stop him. Can it?
He cried.
The tears of an earthling cannot be of any significance to the great Anyak.
He almost made me cry.
You are manifesting a grave and unforgivable weakness, O Anyak, by pitting the powers of this machine against the powers of a stripling's tears. It cannot be allowed.
It seems to think it can.
He said we went on hikes together. We played chess games and sing songs and... I want to go back! I want to go back!
Oops. You broke it.
It's 8 minutes to launch. If he rides piggyback on the robot, he might make it.
T-minus 6 and counting.
And it would have been T-minus 6 and holding if Will hadn't gotten back.
T-minus 5 and counting.
Minutes go really fast on this planet. I hope the robot has overdrive.
Hold tight.
Unfortunately, Dr. Smith can't handle overdrive.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Good heavens. Oh. You clumsy clout!
On your feet, Dr. Smith. On your feet.
It's no use. We can never make it now. The countdown is almost over.
It's almost over and they'll never make it because he keeps doing crap like this. He would rather maintain his charade of a delicate back and all the rest than push through everything and get his butt back to the ship. Being marooned alone for life is preferable to admitting it's all fake and he's just malingering. I've been a malingerer. I've been lazy. I've been a spoiled brat. None of it is worth what he's facing, which is why the episode has thoroughly lost me. I find him impossible to believe at this point. Even the Dr. Smith that we've created over the past 2 seasons isn't that big an idiot. This is about survival, and if there's one thing Dr. Smith is big on, it's his own survival. His meal ticket on this planet just blew up, and there's exactly one other option. It's getting ready to leave. Rather than catch up with it, he sits down to whine. I don't buy it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. They're gone. Oh dear. What's to become of me now?
Did you see any blast off?
How could they do this to me? How could they break my poor William's heart?
Did you see a blast off?
You're supposed to be gone. Are you an apparition? Oh, good heavens, I fear my mind is becoming unbalanced.
We're not an apparition, Dr. Smith. We gave up the flight when we spotted you and the robot on our radar screen.
Why didn't the robot point out that the ship didn't blast off? When Dr. Smith said they're gone, the robot would most logically have reported that the Jupiter 2 was still on the ground and that Professor Robinson and Major West were approaching. Instead, he said this:
You have me, Dr. Smith. We have each other.
That suggests that every sensor in his metal carcass failed and he had no idea the ship hadn't left. I also don't buy that. We had a pretty decent story going here despite the excessive focus on Dr. Smith, and it just sort of fell apart. Somebody couldn't figure out how to end it, so they slapped something together to meet a deadline. That's my hypotenuse. Hippopotamus. You know what I mean.
I knew you would come back for me.
I have to ask again. Did you see any blast off? Did you see the ship go up into the sky like a little birdie? Did you hear the delicate, susurring roar of the engines as they pushed the huge craft aloft? Did you feel the tremor of the ground as the massive force of the engines pushed against it to escape its gravitational clutches? Short answer, no. Stop acting like an idiot.
That we never would have done, Smith. Now, we saw you on the screen before the liftoff.
Do you mean to tell me that had you been aloft, you would never have come back for me?
Well, we'll let you figure that one out all by yourself on those long, lonely nights you're going to spend here before we're ready to go again.
And never forget that you are the cause of those long, lonely nights before you start complaining about them. In the cliffhanger, Dr. Smith is teaching the children how to play roulette.
Spin and turn your sensors off. I want no peeking. Ah, number 8 on the black, an open number. How unfortunate you are both losers.
The robot is using a pointer, not a ball, so this is more like the Wheel of Fortune. Don't tell Dr. Smith that. Though none of them has a chip on that number, Penny found something on it.
It looks like a gold coin.
Gold coin? Let me see. Oh, yes, indeed it is. Probably an artifact left from some ancient civilization. Let's see if we can find some more.
Penny is the finder today, and she found something else.
Looks like a metal ring.
Is this perhaps the entrance to a treasure trove?
You'd think he got enough of metal rings when he put that one on his neck last season.
Caution is advised.
Silence, Nenny! Stand aside. I think it's begun to move.
That is the best thing we could do with Dr. Smith at this point. Is anybody else as tired of him as I am? The non-stop boasting, shrieking like a hyena at every little thing, constantly getting himself into trouble and blaming everyone else, all of it is getting tiring. I've mentioned before that at the beginning of this season, Jonathan Harris asked to be taken off the leash a little. Somebody misplaced the leash because he's out of control and his character is dominating the whole show. That's not what this is supposed to be about. This is supposed to be Space Family Robinson, not Dr. Smith and the Smithlings. And if anybody in the cast had a good case for wanting more development, it was Marta Kristen as Judy. The only time she's gotten a real opportunity to shine, she was a plant. She gets maybe 2 lines per episode. Meanwhile, Jonathan Harris gets to run around and scream like an idiot. We've fallen into a rut, and we're not likely to get out of it anytime soon. I'll see you next time you find yourself lost in Irvingland.
If you enjoyed this episode, click the like button and let us know. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you always know what is happening, because something is always happening here at Irving Zoo. We make sure of it. We control his computer. Until next time. He's going to restore the Draconian civilization to civilization. Will says, now, don't bite yourself.